bi-monthly Mayor and Board of Alderman meeting. So with that being said, the meeting is now in session. We'll start with the invocation by Pastor Jonathan Phillips of Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church, also known as the City of Zion.
Shall we pray? Gracious and alternate God, we come before you in this solemn moment today. We give you thanks, give you praise, give you adoration. And we come seeking your presence, your provision, and your power as we embark upon this session of our Board of Aldermen. As winds of change sweep across our nation and our city, many are anxious, uncertain about the roads ahead. Policies are shifting with them, and the lives of so many hang in the balance. But Lord, you are the same yesterday, today, and forever. So we turn to you now, knowing that you hold all things in your hand. God, we lift up before you our city leaders, those entrusted with power, those shaping policies that affect the most vulnerable among us. We pray today that during this pivotal opportunity to unite, raise our voices, and advocate for policies and promote equality, justice, and advancement for our community. We pray, God, your choice blessings upon us. We ask even now, God, that you would touch hearts, reminding us all that leadership is not about self-interest, but service. May justice roll down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. May they continue to govern not with arrogance, but with compassion. Not with division, but with unity. Father, in times like these, we stand in your strength, knowing that we are called to serve and to be served. And to be servants of all, to lead by example, to lift as we climb. Strengthen us for the days ahead. Give us the courage to be a voice of justice, bridges of reconciliation, instruments of peace. So we place now, God, our city, this Canton, Mississippi area in your hands. Believing that no matter what policies shift, no matter what trials come, you are still God. You're still sovereign. Your power is still great. So we ask all this in the name that's majestic and high and matchless, which is that name of Jesus we pray, Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Look, I heard a little bit of Dr. King coming out of the book of Matthew. Amen. Thank you so much, Pastor. So we'll be moving right along with roll call. Alderman Rodriguez Brown.
Present.
Alderwoman Dr. Shannon Whiteley, PhD.
Present.
Alderman Les King. Alderman Les King. Alderwoman Cynthia Allen.
Present.
Alderwoman Janice Diamond.
Present.
Alderwoman Monica Gilkey.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Lafayette E. Wells.
Present.
The mayor will now entertain a motion for the adoption of the meeting agenda.
I so move.
Second.
It's been motion and properly second. Are you ready to vote? And if so, what is your vote?
Allen.
Well done.
Yes, yeah.
Brown eye.
Whitey,
The ayes have it, motion carried. On number 2, approval of the claims docket. Have you had a chance to read the contractual claims docket? And if so, is there a motion?
I so move.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second? It's been motion and properly second. Let me ask. Contractual, and there's another claim docket.
It's all
Okay. It's been motion and properly second. Are you ready to vote?
Ready.
And if so, what is your vote?
Allen.
Well done.
Gilkey, aye.
Brown eye.
Down.
Whitey, aye.
All right, on number 2 fails. Keep in mind, if the claims docket is not approved, we can't pay bills. And this is what this city does not need to get in trouble for, not paying bills. I'm listening.
I would like to make a motion that we will, come back some items on, and come back to that.
repeat that, all the lady.
She
Let's
wants to
come
close,
back to it.
close this one out, and she wants to make a motion to revisit it after executive session.
Okay. All right. Is that your motion, all the lady Gilbert?
Yes, sir.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Jerry, aye. Whitehead, aye.
Well,
Diamond eye. Allen eye.
Brown eye.
All right, ayes have it, motion carries. I just want to interject this, as we go forward, we have to, as servant leaders, we have to pay very close attention, especially to this claim document. For a long time, I watched people at the table who voted and who didn't, and didn't know how serious this was, because if these things are not right, with the black cloud that's over the city of Canton at this particular point, we don't need that, and we need to be on the point and making sure we're getting the things done that we need to get done. All right, wrong number 3, go ahead, Dr. Anderson.
Number 3, approve proposal for Franklin Engineering and Consultants to provide 2025 air compliance assistance for Canton landfill. That information is in the landfill section of your folder that you was given today.
Is Mr. Garrett here?
Right there. It was carried over from the previous mayor, and he's just included, today he's included the request that was asked to include the breakdown.
Okay.
And
Mr.
that's
Garrett, do you have any additional information on wrong number 3?
here.
I thought there was no more in, okay. Okay. All right, the mayor will entertain a motion regarding wrong number 3.
Man, motion that we approve, Roman number 3 as read.
Is the motion, is there a second?
Second.
Is the motion properly second? Are you ready to vote? And if so, what is your vote?
Allen eye.
Wells eye.
Brown eye.
Whitehead, aye.
Diamond eye.
Jerry, aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Wrong number 4.
4, authorize Wagner Engineering to submit on the city's behalf a request for publishing and advertising for construction bids related to the city of Canton intersection improvement projects, including those intersections are Adeline Street in Singleton, Adeline and Isabella, Mason and Edwards, and South Union Street washout area.
The mayor will entertain a motion regarding Roman number 4.
I move that we would, authorize them to publish or be, for Roman 4.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's been a motion properly second, are you ready to vote? And if so, what is your vote?
Whitehead, aye.
Allen eye. Diamond eye.
Wells eye.
Brown eye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Wrong number 5.
Number 5, authorize and approve renaming, it says Singleton, that should say Adeline Street in honor of Reverend Barney Lindsay Senior.
The mayor will entertain a motion regarding Roman number 5. We had, Mr. Leslie Song to come before us last night and pretty much give us a highlight and a timeline on his dad's life. Most of us who live here in Canton most of our lives, we know Mr. Leslie very well, so the mayor will entertain a motion regarding Roman number 5.
I so move. I second.
Is the motion properly second? Are you ready to vote? And if so, what is your vote?
Diamond eye. Allen eye.
Yes.
Wells eye.
Whitehead and Gilby.
Thank you for coming on and giving this first.
She did what I?
She was trying to speak the right
And I
something.
get out the mute before y'all start voting, but you started before I could get out the mute.
Okay. What's your vote, other lady?
I'm gonna abstain from it.
All right. The ayes
I'm
of
abstaining as well.
the ayes go, the abstaining goes with the majority, so therefore congratulations, Mr. Wilson.
Brown and Mayor.
You abstaining too? So that's 3,
It goes.
4.
it still goes with the majority,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay,
Mayor, can I make one statement, Mayor?
all right, go ahead.
With respect to this, it had to be an ordinance, so we can bring the ordinance back for ratification as well.
Okay.
So we get the agreement for, NCQ.
I'm sorry, what you said?
This is, there has to be an ordinance, so we can bring the ordinance back for ratification since we're this time we get the, agreement for NCQ.
Okay, all right. Okay,
And Mayor, come on.
you mad?
My question was gonna be, are we gonna talk to the constituents in the area before we change the name, because that was the issue when we did the last.
Those my concern too.
How many constituents you have on the street? 4 or 5?
Now, we have both sides airlines, we have more than 4 or 5.
Oh, yeah, that's right, I'm a little way in.
It's gonna impact a lot of other things like meal and stuff like that, food change, so that's why, making them notice of it, so they can be aware that the changes, some people have to make meal changes and stuff like that. But I know when we changed the street back here, a lot of people was upset because they had to go off and do changes.
So what we needed for Reverend Johnson, I don't recall any.
It's not gonna cost much.
But you asked me what, so what happened was I submitted to, Ms. Anita Ray, and I think Chief did his part with E911, and from there, they notified the, that's what she was telling to me in an email, that they notified residents and all that once everything is done, but pretty much from the board, and once the board votes, I submit to Ms. Anita Ray the, resolution, the ordinance or whatever, and it goes. It's out of our hands.
When we did the one for Dr. Johnson, I talked to some of the residents on that street. And got their input, about it before we did it. That's what I was talking about, because I don't want anybody saying we're doing it for certain people. Because let's start setting precedents that we're gonna rename every street. And, I just wanted to throw that out there, that we probably should have talked to some of the residents on the street, being that, my ward and, Ms. Dan's ward. I'm done, thank you. Mayor, may I?
The mayor recognizes Dr. Whitehead.
I agree with, Alderwoman Gilby. I think we do need to discuss, what is our protocol processes for having street names, for individuals, just to ensure that we are having a fair and equitable practice when it comes to naming streets after, individuals.
I do know this in the past, when streets have been named after names such as Jewel Williams and so on and so forth, there was no petition done. Everything went to the circuit clerk's office and it was ratified and moved on. If we're gonna do something different, that was the purpose of the board meeting last night. We were supposed to be able to hash out the ramifications on last night. Instead of getting here today, we could have talked to Mr. Lipsy, told him what the procedures, and since we don't have any procedures in place, but I thought we were just gonna adopt the same things that we've done in the past. That is the purpose of the board meetings and the work sessions, so that we can don't have to get to a point are blocking the road at this particular point. And, because we pretty much heard the curriculum vitae last night, for those of you who were here. And, I just think that we, as servant leaders, we've got to be more attentive to our constituents and their requests. And, I don't know, Mr. Lips has been in the city for a very long time, and I don't know what the thought process of anybody, but I do know when people are given so much, the least thing that we can do is honor them with what we're doing. What did you say?
I'm not against it. It renamed it. I was just bringing up a point. So in the future, I would suggest that we would talk to the constituents in which we represent about name changing the name of the street. I'm going to be able to honor our citizens. I just want to, I want to just always bring mine or one person's idea onto everybody else, or that is not together, that is taking place.
But you do understand what I'm saying with the work session last night. These things should have been hammered out in that particular work session. So when we got to this point, we have an answer for Mr. Lipsy rather than a vote that doesn't seem to be a favorable vote, because we failed to do it.
I'm just saying, I prefer now that we would talk to the people on those streets.
But you have an abstaining for the vote, though.
I'm saying because Brother Lipton is my uncle.
Yeah, I'm just saying, he's sitting here, and I want him to feel that the board was not unanimous in what we were trying to do. That's the message that I'm trying to see.
No, I don't think, Mayor, because this is not relevant, and I'm not gonna vote on something, this was not relevant.
Okay. And if I'm out of line, tell me, because maybe I don't have a full understanding of what's going on. Okay. Okay. All right. Moving along.
Item number 6, authorize and approve Mustard Seed Faith Ministries Canton United in Peace Block Party Parade to be held on October 4th, 2025 at the Hickory Center Street area. Details were provided yesterday, it's also been posted.
All right, Mayor, we entertain a motion regarding room number 6.
Mayor, motion that we approve, authorize and approve, item number 6, as read.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I say,
It's been motion properly second. Are you ready to vote? And so, what is your vote?
Well, Robert.
Valentine,
Here's what I'm saying. Well, here I'm saying.
Ayes have it, motion carried. I'm listening.
there's a block party ordinance, I was sending this to, the young lady who was here yesterday, I had a phone number, questioning her, I was sending it to her time she tells me why, there's that ordinance.
Okay. Moving on.
Number 7, open up bids and read out loud responses to property demolition and cleaning of retention ponds as advertised, in addition to taking the appropriate actions if needed. We received one bid, the bid is still sealed, this is for house demolition. is from Cooley Contracting and Dirt LLC. Since submitted below is my firm bid for demolition and debris removal services for the city of Canton, demolition and debris removal services. And it lists the streets and the amount per street and per demolition, which is $20,000. And if they were to complete the demolition for all 6 properties listed, it'd be $120,000 total.
All right, regarding the phone numbers, go ahead, sorry.
$20,000 per address, but I think, some of these addresses have been removed. So I think we may want to check with Mr. Lawrence to see exactly which ones still remain on the demolition list. These were the properties on the demolition list at the time that the bid was sent out. And I think at this time there may be 1 or 2 remaining on the list.
Question there.
Well, I was gonna say, just for a legal standpoint, I think we waived any informalities in the bid, so if you all wanna take under advisement, I think you still can, depending how they're still in the these are the addresses.
Okay.
Because the bid has waived any informalities in the bid, so if I were to let everybody go and consider it, to take under advisement. For the remaining homes, there's still on that list, and remaining homes.
Had a question there.
Alderman, Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes, Clark County, you said some homes were removed.
Yes, some homes have been removed. I don't think Mr. Lawrence, but my understanding some have been removed, but I think maybe 1 or 2 are still remaining.
So does anyone know why they were removed?
What's wrong, can you speak to that?
Normally, I would just say, normally when the house is actually moved, is that, it got into conditions where the house is unsafe, and it's for the people that's in the neighborhood, and therefore, the zoning department is probably taking a case out on it, and brought it before the grand board to actually take action on it, so it should be moved. And normally when the house is actually moved, the structure is unsound and unsafe.
So they were removed totally off the list, you said?
Second,
They were removed off the demolition list.
we move off the demolition list.
Right.
Okay, now that I have to find out.
Right, that's what,
Move off the list.
it was on the list for a reason.
That's correct, if it was on the list, that's been the reason.
Yeah. Okay, that's my question, so.
Okay.
If you research that,
Yeah, if you give me the information, I'll find out.
okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
I'll send you a copy of those bid. All thing I have is the bid announcement going out. I'll send you a copy.
Okay, those for bids for those properties?
Yes, it's for 1, 2, 3, 4, Mr. 6.
Okay.
Okay. So at this point, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'll give him a copy.
Okay.
I was telling Mr. Lawrence, I'll give him a copy.
If you allow them to come on, that's the thing. If we voted to go through this process, we would have the authority to say we take them on. That's what I'm saying, yeah. And we have the board to take them on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at this point, we'll take it under advisement and no action will be taken.
Right, so that's what we're concerned about. The houses, the original houses still should be on that list.
Okay?
Because we put them on that.
Yeah.
So no one else can come in and say, hey, we're gonna let's take this long. So we need to find out who did that, and tell us still on the list for the board.
Okay. Moving on. I'm sorry.
Since it's a bid, I'll give an official motion, take under advisement.
Okay. All right, the mayor will entertain a motion regarding ordinance number 7 to take it under advisement.
May I motion that we, take under advisement, room number 7.
Okay. There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
A second.
There's been motion and properly second. Are you ready to vote? And so, what say you?
Allen, aye.
Well,
Dr. Whitehead, all the way to Gilkey? Ayes have it, motion carried. Dr. Anderson.
Item A, consideration of approval of local government resolution agreement and authorized to proceed police traffic services grant. And this information,
Is that, no?
It was emailed out to you all on August 14th. This email out. It was on August 14th.
Mayor, may I?
The mayor recognizes, Brown.
Chief Barton, are these the grants that we previously had?
Yes, sir. Safety grant.
The ones about
Traffic safety, seatbelt, all that. Yes, sir.
Is there an amount attached to it?
7,000.
Seven.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah, I read that.
all of them are pertaining to the same thing? That's all I'm asking.
Are you ready? Members?
Yes, sir.
So these next three are sheets on the,
I'm sorry?
the next three are sheets.
Oh, you may want to stay up there, Chief Brown.
8, 9, 10.
He said it pertains to the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they're all pertaining to the same thing.
Well, you might as well come on back. I just like to see him standing up. It makes me think he's working. All right, the mayor will entertain a motion regarding item number 8.
Y'all, anyone? Going?
Yeah, 8, 9, 8, 9.
So,
19, 11, all the same.
Oh, they all the same thing.
Okay.
11, so 11 also.
Well, y'all want to at least get we had to say right 9 and 10.
They three of them?
I mean, just, look,
I already know my vote.
it's pastors here, I want them to shine, so, but we all said bundle it, let's bundle it.
Amen.
The mayor will entertain a motion to bundle, Romans number 8, 9, and 10,
Amen.
and 11.
I so move here to be bundled, Roman number 8 through 11.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
If the motion is properly second, are you ready to vote? If so, what is your vote?
Allen, aye.
Well,
This just the one?
Yeah,
That's
For the
what I
whole, for the whole.
yeah, everything,
this is
Go ahead, I.
yeah. I'm sorry. Right.
right. This is on the item, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, Brown, Nate. Yeah.
Alderman Gill,
2, 3, 4, 5 votes.
Alderman Gill,
Yes, ma'am.
I think you may have, did you vote? I think I did hear you.
I did, I said that.
Okay.
So you got that?
Yeah, she voted first.
Okay. All right, ayes have it, motion carried. On number 12,
Excuse me, man,
thank you so much, Steve. Yeah.
Item 12, consideration of approval of City of Canton Sanitation Public Works Department solid waste collection garbage cart lease contract agreement.
Mayor will entertain a motion regarding on number 12. Okay. You go ahead, stay here. Stay.
I was just saying that, Mr. Gary and I have been working on this form for the garbage carts, lease and or purchase. It wasn't specified in the first documents that were sent out by the board. However, we were looking at, we talked to Oxford. I spoke to the city of Oxford. Mr. Gary, I think, spoke to the city of Oxford as well. I think wherever we put the lease, I think we should just put specifically a because I would like to stay in line with all the others, with other municipalities in the same city are doing. And what they're doing specifically is, although it is a little bit more pricier than what is proposed in this, particular agreement, the city of Oxford is doing $20 a month for a lease. So what they're doing is, they're adding $20 a month onto the bill, and that is for the collection of that additional card. So they're doing it's in one card is free, the other card is for $20 extra, so that would be like an extra home pickup. So they're doing $20 a month for an extra pickup. So, you know, and to me, in the abundance of fairness, and I think you could do it either way, because I think Greenwood is charging, the city of Greenwood is charging $5 per month, for that. So I think in effort of fairness, I would just do it at $75 one-time purpose instead of a lease. Mr. Gary and I spoke about this, I want to do this came on it too, but that's what we were talking about as well. Payment.
Yes, after researching, and, the attorney and I, we looked at, like what she said about the fairness, how it needs to be done, other cities already done. And there was no need really to reinvent the wheel or create something that would be difficult for our constituents. Try to stay along the same level, the same lines, and in the same arena with everyone else what's going on as it relates to cities or entities collecting their own garbage and the dispensing of cans. And so that's what we came up with, you know. And we didn't want to put a burden on CMU by adding a $5 fee, and it ended up being spread across everything that was not collectively done. We spoke with individuals, we created a commercial list, and we created a list for the people that would like to have a certain card. And so those cards are being issued this afternoon. We probably only into 5, but we should have everyone that has made the request cards to them satisfactory by the end of the week. And if I may add, I know that anytime something new comes out, is rolled out, I know all the chaos that goes along with it. I know a couple of days we may have had some hiccups, but thus far, I just want to say, job well done. Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody have any questions on that? You know, in fairness, it is your all constituents, so whatever questions you all have is to the board.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, my question is, how are we gonna get this information to our constituents, and approximately how many people, have already requested that second can?
I have a list of officers. I have a list on file at the office.
Okay.
And we're just trying to make sure that we also, in that list, we verify either that they were already paying or that they were pre-existing, like commercial or customer. That list should total around 331 customers, like customers, and probably about 20 or 30 residential that would like to have a certain car.
So is that a one-time fee you said?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and I think we just need to make sure we do our due diligence of getting that word out before we just charge anybody.
Yes.
So we understand it. So, because if it's not, it's gonna get twisted, and if they're going up on garbage again, make sure we make the distinction for who's gonna affect it and that. That's all I'm concerned with.
The mayor recognizes, Janice down.
Will all of the constituents in Canton have that same opportunity when you put that information out there where they can know that it's available and how much it costs?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I want to know. Did other people know, or just certain people
No.
give you their names? How did you come up with this 300 and something constituents?
We from past, the distribution of cards, what we had for commercial in the past, that same list was rolled over into our distribution of cards. And we have that list on file, and we were billing those customers. We did have, we probably picked up probably over 100 extra customers by delaying of just placing of cans. We held out on commercial, we could make, because we have businesses come, businesses go. And we have residential that move and some you know,
Move in.
move in. And so, for instance, if I may, Mayor, give an example, the Sawmill Court is not within the city limits. But we have a lot of our parks in the Sawmill Court. Those carts were on lease to us by West Standard. West Standard picked those carts up, that's how we found out that we had overabundance in other areas that were not being served by the city. And so, that list had grew, but West Standard had not updated. So I withheld carts until we could actually make sure every resident had a car. And then those people would actually call that 826 number, and then we would verify through Ms. Julie Johnson, whether they're paying or not paying, or in the city or outside the city.
Okay, my question was, is everyone, are all the constituents aware that they can get a second kingdom? Or was those just people who saw the number and gave you a call?
No, in our advertisement, in our rollout advertisement, it's also listed in our very first rollout, but we are revamping that to make sure that everyone
Is aware?
is aware. Yeah, but it was in our original radio announcement and everything.
To see everybody on listen to.
Yeah, and it was in our original flyers, you know.
I didn't get a
I have a question.
Dr. Hines, due to the continuous education classes and seminars that we've taken, we've been advised, and I don't know what the statute is, that we can't recognize a Hanford's audience on voting day.
Okay.
Right? Okay, all through.
Yes, I'm in agreement with, Alderwoman Diamond, because I keep saying, we have to get it to the people the way that they get their news. Everybody does not use WMGO, everybody's not on Facebook, everybody's not on Instagram, and everything that we send out does not go to each home. Nobody's gonna tell me that it does, because it does not. We have to make every effort that we possibly can to make sure everybody gets the same information at the same time. I don't see why it's so hard for us to get stuff to the news. Just to come on the news every day and say something to their constituents about what's going on. We don't. We're the ones getting slammed when stuff don't happen right. Not the supervisors, not the department heads, not the public. We are, because we're held responsible, and I am one to make them responsible for doing their job. If we say that the information needs to go to everybody, it needs to go to everybody. I brought it up 1,000 times. You can send stuff to WJTV on their community service news. You can send it to WATT on their community news. If it's community-based, you don't have to pay. If you pay anything, it's a nominal fee. We got to get the information to the people, y'all. We got to. And I'm done.
Yes, you know.
I'm in agreement with Alderwoman Gilby, as well as Alderwoman Diamond, as well as Alderman Pro Tem. Well, we do have to do a better job with communicating, especially when it comes to fees or anything that's going to be charged to our constituents. And it can't just be a one-time thing. It has to be ongoing. I tell my staff all the time, we have to overly communicate, because if you don't get it one way, we need to be able to reach our constituents in a whole different way. So I agree with Alderwoman Gilby. We need to place this on the news. We need to place this in the newspaper. We need to place this on Canton News. We need to place it on our websites. We need to put it in the mail. I think that was the last thing we talked about at the last sitting meeting. We stated that we were going to get small cards and mail them out to everybody. And we even asked our attorney, and she said that the fees were already budgeted for that. So it's not a matter of us understanding what to do. It's now putting the things in place. If we have this flyer and it's already been placed out, or we're gonna rebrand it or whatever, let's just make sure that it's getting out to everyone's hands, because again, you may have placed those flyers. We're not saying that you haven't, but myself, my mom, my constituents in Ward 2, we have not received a flyer in our mailboxes. So if I'm looking for it and I haven't received it, and the news, it comes on, they're gonna catch it at 7 o'clock, they're gonna catch it 7 o'clock a.m., they're gonna catch it at 5, then they're gonna catch it at 10. So I think we can do a better job with overly communicating what's coming down the pipeline, especially if we're talking about financial.
And with all due respect, Dr. Whitehead, they should not be putting anything in anybody's mailbox. That's a selfish. Yeah. Yeah, so, but I do know this, there were areas that got flyers stuck in their doors because I stuck them in there. Now, I may have shown some privilege to Ward 5 because that's the ward that I'm very familiar with. And the strengths of communication in barbershops, hair salons and all that, we can point the finger at everybody we want to point the finger at. But it's incumbent upon us as leaders also to do our due diligence. And all I'm saying is this, with the effort that was put forward, with what was done, I believe it was a job well done. But on the other hand, as all the men and all the women, we have a job to do also. This is an opportunity for us to go out into the field and talk to our constituents one-on-one to give them an idea of what's going on. They elected us. They didn't elect the TV stations and all the other propaganda that goes along with it. Although, you're right, I agree, we should utilize those sources. But, as servant leaders in the city of Canton, we've got to go above and beyond the call of duty. Not just get elected and do nothing else afterwards. This is why we get ridiculed the way we do, and a lot of our constituents will say, we don't see them no more until election time. I, for one, forbid doing that, and I hope my colleagues at the table will take that same thing up. Anything else?
Yes, Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't think any of us at this table is not reaching out to our constituents.
Oh, I didn't say that.
No,
Okay.
but I want to say, because that was the last thing, and we're doing our job in our behalf. But I also feel like it should be a one voice when it comes from the city of Canton about what's coming up with the changes. It shouldn't just be 7 different people talking to their wards. It should be something that says, as an umbrella of the city of Canton, this is what the 7 people are saying up under that umbrella. So if the city of Canton is placing something out and talking to them on the news, when we back you all up, when we back the city up, we're coming in as a reinforcement. And they're not just looking for the news to come from the constituents that they elected, but they're coming from the city of Canton as a whole, and we are the branches of the city of Canton. So I don't think no one placed any blame on about what was communicated or the lack of, but we were just taking an extra effort of saying, some of our constituents were saying that they did not get the information. When we sat back on Facebook or wherever we had people coming up to us, they didn't get the same information. We're just saying, as on one accord, we want to be able to reach everybody at the same time, and not just Ward 2 put something out, but nobody else put anything out. Or Ward 1 put something out and no one else is having the same communication. If we do it at the same time and we walk in unity with what we're saying at the same time, I think that would be better for the city of Canton. All of us reach out to our constituents for how we reach out to them. We have ward meetings and all. But I just think everybody don't, if we get one umbrella of saying, we fall under the umbrella as ribs and limbs for the city, the communication would be better.
And I wholeheartedly agree. But with the aspects that we called out, there are other ways of communicating. We have churches. I do it in my church all the time. With the public announcements, I get up and say what's going on. This past Sunday, I announced in church that, we're going to have this back-to-school gala, jamboree. There are many ways, and no matter what we do and how often we do it, somebody's going to be left out. Somebody's not going to get the information. And I just hope we don't beat up on people for lack of. That's all I'm saying. And I agree with you, Dr. Whitehead, wholeheartedly. But I do know this for a fact, as a elected official, the more we get into our communities, the more people are going to feel comfortable approaching us and getting the information in a different way. Anything else? And I know, the attorney worked on this. Do you have anything else, attorney?
No, Mayor, I have nothing else on that, Mayor. I mean, with respect to, I guess, with respect to the mask, I think we tried to do an umbrella, of what you say, of one voice being
Right, one
communicated.
voice.
And I think we should do the same thing with this, and I think we should still do the same thing with masks, mail out masks, Facebook, all social media outlets, I mean, you can try and to reach everybody, you can try. There's no guarantee you're going to get exactly what you can try.
Anything else, Mr. Chair?
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. Are we voting on, room number 12?
We ain't got anything.
Okay. All right, the mayor will now entertain a motion regarding room number 12. Going once?
Motion, and we definitely have some other.
Yeah.
So you gonna make a motion to table it, Ms. Simon?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There's a motion on the floor to table room number 2. Is there a second? I said 2. Is there a second?
I second that.
You second?
Yes, sir.
There is a motion and a second on the floor. Are you ready to vote? And so will you vote? To table room number 12.
Yes.
Down there. Allen, aye.
Whitehead, aye.
Right.
Well,
Ayes have it, motion carried. Room number 13.
Ratification of consulting agreement with Mississippi Quality Concepts.
Are there any discussions regarding room number 13? And if not, the mayor will entertain a motion regarding room number 13.
I think the changes in right there. The resolution of it.
Ratification.
Yeah, what are the changes
I
made?
think it was the issue about the date of service, but he submitted it to September 15th.
She said that he did submit the new, ratification of change with the start date of September 15th. So she was saying that she received it with the correct start date that the board suggested.
Clerk, put it on that thing.
Yeah, and I just said it out when he said the date he sent me, which was last week. And he does have a 30-day termination clause in there as well. I think that was on Friday. When was this special meeting, on Thursday? He sent it on Friday. It's a very agreement.
Who's doing that? I can't do it. That's one of the questions. I need to see the document, right quick to ask my questions.
You want to come back to 13?
Okay,
Yes.
I had a question.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. You know, we do have, it says scope of work as a consultant. So we want to make sure, we have Mr. Carroll, who's been a registered lobbyist, with the city. How can these, two individuals, work together? We don't want blurry lines here. And we don't want one talking to us that, and then another talking to us that, from legislators, I'm gonna, maneuver that particular war.
So in one a lobbyist and the other is a consultant?
Right, that's
Okay.
right. So we can our consultant, as a consultant, can, speak on our behalf with the legislators, senators or whatnot.
Contract doesn't say that.
Steve is a very well-known, person. We don't want it to just happen. I think we had a conversation
Okay.
to make sure.
So no action taken on 13 until we get,
Yeah.
okay.
That's what I would say, until we talk, but then, but that's gonna be so close. And sometimes things just inadvertently happen, but we have our understanding that one.
Okay. So no action taken on number
You
13.
know, it's already approved, so what we're doing is spelling across the minutes. So
Right.
if you all did want to make some kind of action to avoid it, you need to do so, I would do so before the start date.
Okay.
Services.
Right, when you start dating,
Yeah, September 15th. That's what he's proposing, September 15th.
or maybe on the next special meeting, or you can call them, or we can get in, the next special meeting we have, we got, so we can do the same thing to make sure.
Okay, I guess what we need to do is find out when he's available, and we'll do the special call meeting accordingly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. All right, no action taken?
Yeah. I think we want to do, we've already hired the terms of application. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it's there, but
Yeah,
I just know how things,
yeah.
we have some prejudice, but I know how, just in conversation, it could be something innocent, but it ends up a little,
Understood.
step over here.
Okay. Okay.
Not trying to bother this contract, but let's get an understanding.
All right, no action on wrong number 13, wrong number 14.
Consideration of report of agreement with the city of Canton and the city attorney Kimberly Banks Esquire.
Who's on there first, Mayor?
Email.
Good evening, Mayor Board.
Good evening.
So what was, this is a contract for employment services. Of course, I just want to thank the city for allowing me to be a part of the city and for being here as part of your representation, your attorney, for the amount of time that I've been here. Of course, we're in a new administration. We talked about holdovers, we talked about all those things with respect to employees, office, et cetera. While the city attorney is not an officer, it will still lend to some kind of clarity with respect to how this administration is going forward with approval of the employment agreement. So what I put forth is an employment agreement. Just so you all know, those who have been with me for a while, nothing has really changed. There are no details that change specifically. I think when I emailed you today, I put the material changes were specifically, the city came approved for me to go to 2 conferences. One is the MML in Biloxi, and the other one is the MMA in Biloxi as well, but that's the attorney part. However, the MML recently has a contradicting time frame with the city attorney's part. So I haven't recently, the last years, been able to finagle going to the MMA and the MML at the same time. So what I did was, in this agreement, I requested to go to the MMA in Biloxi and the MMA that is in January in Jackson as a makeup for that session. So that is the only change materially, and then the dollar amount as far as additional services is going from 115 to 225. And that's the amount that was approved in the additional. That was before the new governing body got here. So, but that was 225. And I do also have I know everybody wants to take information to their constituents. So, when you approve things, you want to, and I want to give you a reason on why you're approving things, and it's in sound judgment, and the city is doing a good job and being a good steward of city resources. And I believe in being a steward of monetary and city resources. So what I have done is I pulled a International Municipal Lawyers Association survey. So for those who are not aware, I'm the chairman of the state of Mississippi for the International Municipal Lawyers Association. And what they do some years is they do a compensation survey. So in 2024, they did a compensation survey with asking lawyers from different states who represent cities and municipalities what their compensation is, how many officers they have, how many attorneys they have, and they compile it in a survey. Now, the survey in and of itself is $199 to purchase, for members and $4.99 for non-members. So this is provided to you in case you would like to give that to your constituents.
Thank you.
And as a chairperson, I don't want to go by the, survey as it is a fee for it. Since I represent the organization too, to some extent, I would not like to, provide that compensation survey, but I do have it here, I can ask around. However, just going with that survey, I've got a few things I would like to highlight with respect to municipal attorneys and their compensation. Just so you will know where you are and where I am with respect to municipal compensation, with respect to city attorneys nationwide, locally, Alabama, et cetera, that are here, that are close by. So, going to, City of Canton has a population of approximately 13,000. So what I did was looked at the population of cities and municipalities of 15,000, 13,000. And the chief legal officer's compensations range from 163,000 to 225,000. And I'll pass that around briefly so you can look at it. That's right here. That's marked. That's the low end for the population wise, and then the high end is 225. So for those who are new, my contract has been the same pretty much since 2017, I believe. So my compensation calls for a month is $9,775. What that amounts to is $117,000 per year. So if you can see, I'm on the lowest end of municipalities and population. Cost of 163, I make 115. However, my contract does provide for additional compensation for non-standard city attorney action items, and that is $225. And so once you finish looking at that, I will show you the hourly rate for attorneys in that same spectrum as well.
All around fell out of step.
That's $15.
Y'all got out here 60 on the night.
Good.
Y'all got out here 60 on the night.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is for the chief legal officer. Then if you go on to, I did Alabama, so I compared Alabama because Mississippi is not in here, although I did participate in the survey as being a chairman of the state of Mississippi, I did participate. Alabama in here is their chief legal officer. They are comparing and they are participating in the survey. Their salary is $194,176, and that's for their chief legal officer. So then I went on to look at the hourly rates. And the hourly rate for billing, which is for items just like I provide for my contract, which are items that some city attorneys don't normally do, that are not standard, that are additional. The range is $145 to $275 an hour. And there it is right there, on chart 29. Yep, that's the billing rate for non-standard fees. And so I was at 115, so, not to my horn, but, I saved the city a substantial amount of money compared to most municipal lawyers that are similarly situated and state significantly and across the United States.
I think I related down to one day.
So you're saying that you're getting paid through the city two different ways?
I get paid, I have one contract. You only have one contract or one formal contract with the municipality, whether I'm a contractor or an employee. So my one contract provides for a standard retainer fee, then it provides for the billing amount, which is standard. And that's why I'm showing you that survey, because you can see how that is common practice for municipal lawyers across the country.
I'm sorry.
Mayor.
Dr. White?
Okay, so we have the retainer fee, which is
$17,000.
Okay.
Yes.
How much, or is it possible, maybe for us to request the
previous year's bill amount, Clark, will we be able to,
Sure, that's an over record request. I think I said plenty of times to individuals, because I know a lot of was made in this cancellation regarding my salary. I think announcement said 300,000, 500,000, 700,000. Let me just state, I have never in my professional career, period, I've been practicing for 20 years, I have never made 300,000 a year. I've never made $500,000 a year, and I've never made $700,000 a year. That is totally inaccurate. So an over request is, and I'll say to the public, an over request is done, anybody can do an over request and get
not
my salary.
necessarily open records request, but I think it's easily pulled on the expenditure report where you can pull where you bill or
Paid out.
paid out that particular. I agree with you, honey, I get it too, I understand, but I just want that amount to be, for us to be aware, especially the new audit.
Yes.
And that's why I'm doing this for the benefit, I'm breaking it down, so I'm going through line by
And
line.
I understand about, being on the low end of the salary scale is
The lowest, the
You know,
lowest.
I understand all of that, because that's what I was gonna request was,
The lowest.
and I guess this is the, campus. But, I just wanted to, I think that's the paper that you gave us was for us to decide if we wanted to.
No,
request
what
a
that
salary
is for your constituents. So,
Okay.
like I said, I'm the chairman, I'm the chairman for International
Okay.
Lawyers Association. So that survey that we participated in, and that has this information there, if they charge for that.
Right.
They charge $199 if you're a member, $499 if you're a non-member.
Right.
That's a considerable amount of work for them to compile.
Absolutely.
From attorneys around the United States. So I don't, as a chairman, I don't wanna overstep their bounds and pass out this survey.
Right.
But I just want your constituents to know, and I'll be happy to share it with any of you all offline as well.
Okay.
But I just want you to know and have information to take back to your constituents if they so ask, of why you're doing whatever it is you're doing. So the hourly rate,
Another question, I wasn't done. Okay, so, okay, okay, so we have the retainer fee.
Yes.
We're getting the amount that was billed, up till today
Understand, okay.
as the billed amount. And then, is it possible, without the salary study, for us to get a, I guess the salary fees of municipal attorneys that look like us in Mississippi?
only thing I can give you is previous attorneys. I can't give you previous attorneys that have stayed
Within
in
the
my
last
same,
5 years?
in my same position. Not in the last 5 years, but I would think,
That
well,
was
some
one.
of it is the last 5 years. I got 2020.
I want it to be apples to apples, being that we did have inflation and everything. You know,
Yes.
I don't wanna compare a salary scale to when
Correct.
my mom.
So I do, I have a salary scale for 2020. So the firm of Blackman in 2020 was billing $275 an hour. So my rate of 115 just went up to 225 a month ago. So I was making 115 an hour. So compared to people who have been similarly situated of color, like you say, of color, in my field, who have been in this particular municipality as well, bill at an hourly rate of 275. So.
Well, I wasn't speaking about color when I was saying apple to
Oh, I
apple.
thought you said apples to apples.
No, apple to apple when it relates to municipalities' number of constituents within our city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they're
As in apples to apples.
There's
Not
one right
necessarily race or anything. It
Right.
has absolutely
Okay.
nothing to do
Well,
with
they compare, well, just so you know, this survey, it compares race, ethnicity, orientation, what you identify yourself as, male, female,
Population.
population.
That's the only concern I was.
Population as well.
Population, more so.
That was the first thing I read out. So the population was, let's see, 13,000 to 20,000. Your salary scale is 163 to 225. So the city of Canton is at 13,000, population 13,000. So from population of 13,000 to 22,000, you have a range of 163 at the lowest end and 225 at the highest end. And as far as comparing municipalities, I think I just gave you another firm who's been representing Canton in recently. As of 2020, they go 275 now. So I'm
About
still,
the retainer fee.
I do not know their retainer.
but their hourly bill is $275. So the next thing that I will discuss is, so we're on population, I'm going over hourly rate, I'm going over compensation. So the mean salary rate per hour, like I said, was $145 to $275. I just reset it to $225. So what I'm requesting basically is pretty the same agreement that I had. I don't believe in milking the system. I'm not trying to get rich off the government. That is not what I plan on doing. I plan on doing a fair job for a fair wage, representing the city of Canton well, and representing myself well, representing my family well. And that's what I pride myself on since I've been here in the city. So I put forth my agreement with those changes. And if anybody has any other questions, I'm welcome to answer them at this time.
That question,
Well said.
you may,
Lady Gilbert.
Ms. Banks, under number 3, consideration, the last sentence in the first paragraph,
Yes,
where it says the attorney shall compensate the city in the amount of 2 hours of $230 monthly. For the
yes,
use of office space.
yes.
How did you arrive at $230?
So that, just so you know, that has been in my contract, probably going back, I think it's just 24.
I just figured out.
I know, that
amount would change.
no, the amount, that amount hasn't changed, that's been since 2017.
Yeah, but see, that was when you were making that's when your hourly rate was 115.
115, yes,
So the 2 hours would equate to 450 now.
Yes.
2/3.
yes. So if you would like to change that to 4 hours, you can.
You don't get what I'm saying. The 230,
Yes.
the
The
230
$230 was $115, yes, that's correct, I want to give it.
that was when it was 100, when your salary was $150 now. So the monthly rate is where it's in the amount of 2 hours, or that would be the 2 hours paying 2 times the $225, right?
Correct.
Right, so that amount just needs to be changed.
That's correct. We can change that, and we can change that to, 225 times 2, which would be 450, and, yes, 450.
Yes, yes, okay.
But just so you know, that language has been in, for the benefit of the new alderwomen, that has been in there since 2017. That language has been
Okay, that was my question.
there. Okay, thank you, Alderman Gillespie.
The mayor recognizes all, therefore,
I'm trying to make sense of the presentation. You made the distinction between the standard, attorney standard fees, right?
Yes.
So, Attorney Bank, is that, any possible, you could, what is the role, responsibility of those things into just your hourly rate? How does that work?
Say it again.
Instead of the billable hours,
Uh-huh.
what if the salary was based on, encompass, just said, okay, this is what my salary is, and it'll encompass.
All that?
Yes.
Well, let me just say this, that's how it was at first,
Okay,
and it was unfair to myself.
okay,
And I'm just being honest. And those of you who work with me and know me, you know that I don't gouge,
no?
I do not overbill.
It's been a while.
However, that was very unfair to myself.
Okay, to you,
I'm
okay.
just being honest. It was a lot of work that I put in that I never got compensated
Recovery.
for. And it was an extreme amount of hours. So, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Just wrong.
Yeah. A fair question, but
Yeah.
I realized I had to be fair to myself.
Right, yeah, you know what you do.
I had to be decent to myself, because I was getting, no,
Okay.
that's not fair at all.
Mayor,
Your
I
recognizes
have one question.
all Lady Hamilton.
Thank you for your presentation, Attorney Banks. And this is just from where I came from. At one time, when I'm in my company, and we have contractors that are also attorneys, and they are not, and this is not anything, I just wanna make sure, is it all right for us to have an office here? For you
Well,
to have an office
that's why
in
we-
the city hall?
That's why.
Because they don't let them, and nothing, I don't care if you
Yeah.
here, but legally,
Yeah.
can you have one, because we're dealing with that, at our company now.
That's why that provision is in there. So
Okay.
that's why that class sentence is there.
Okay.
To protect everybody legally. Oh, that's why that says.
I yield my time.
All right. Anybody else?
No further question?
Well, while you're saying that, can you advocate for the mayor race? I'm on the other end of the shoulder.
Let me just say, I think I've said it to you all, I think at the very first meeting, I think the board, the mayor and the board deserve a raise. I've stated that, I think I've said that 2 or 3 times. I've stated that about, let me just say that, I've stated that also about a lot of individuals here who are employed. I've stated that about the clerk, and I've stated that to you, Clerk Anderson. That to me, I think everybody should be paid fairly for their work. And I think a good clerk is worth what they're paid. I think those are my exact words, I keep screaming. A good clerk is worth what they're paid.
Yeah.
Anybody who's contributing to the city because they serve the city money, they're working and doing a job that is appreciated and it's worth gold. I cannot even specify that a good clerk, mayor, nucleus is worth. It's no dollar amount. I've seen it, I've been there, and I think that everybody who pulls their weight deserves to be paid accordingly. Okay. Good.
Well, I was only talking about myself.
Well, I said the mayor and the board.
I'm not talking about no clerk, I'm talking about,
It's the mayor and the board.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, yeah, I agree with you.
Any further questions? I'm gonna say, because I have one more item too, I think that, that's the next one. If there's no question, I'm gonna sit right here.
Okay, you good? All right.
So we have to vote on it? Okay.
Yeah, that was Roman number 14. The mayor will entertain a motion regarding Roman number 14.
I motion that we table it.
There's a motion on the floor to table Roman number 14. Is there a second?
Second.
Is the motion properly second? Are you ready to vote? And if so, what is your vote?
Diamond eye.
Brown man.
And, Wells, man.
Whitehead, with,
Give me that.
So therefore, Dr. Allen, I'm sorry.
Allen.
5 nays to 2 yeses. Motion failed.
I make the motion, we accept the contract agreement.
There's a motion on the floor regarding Roman number 14 to accept the contract agreement. She second?
Yes, the second one, yeah.
Okay. What y'all ready to follow, Lady Hill?
That we make note that he needs to change, from 2:30 to 4:50.
Okay.
Just so we be legally correct.
Okay.
I have not read it.
That's not handwritten in.
All right. Is somebody else not ready for Dr. Whitehead? I just heard something on this side. Dr. Whitehead, what is your ready?
We may need to also look at the date, it was August, if we're gonna, approve it today, I think that month we can change.
I just left it blank, so if you approve it today, that date will fill in for today.
That August, 2025, so we need to make sure that we're looking at the dates correctly.
Okay.
contract.
It's a contract.
Yeah.
It's gotta be in the budget.
Okay.
Okay. Mine with this.
Okay? Any more on that? Are you ready to vote? And if so, what is your vote?
You know,
What else, man?
Alright. Lemonade.
Yeah.
Ayes have it, motion carried.
I had one.
Oh, speak up over there, my gal. I'm sorry. What's your vote?
Palestine.
Ayes have it, motion carried.
The next one's mine too, Mayor.
Okay. For, just for the sake of the audience, I'm gonna ask Dr. Anderson to read it.
Consideration of dumpster pickup in commercial businesses upon information and belief said agreement was separate in apart from any previous waste management agreement.
I want to address this first before you even put it to the table. So
Yes.
I reached out to, I think I put in my email that I've been researching to see where this was, where it fell. I reached out to Mr. Holloway from Waste Management, and I talked to him today as well, because I've heard issues and I've had complaints. So what I got from Mr. Holloway was, the issue with the commercial district is, specifically on the square, is that there are 6 carts. They're requesting and needing some of them 6 carts, or they're needing some kind of axle dumpster instead of the 6 cans, which cannot fit in the square due to, I guess, the historical nature of the square. It will not be able to fit down those alleyways and streets. So the issue is, how do we satisfy the commercial district? And I think Mr. Garrett, we're working on an ordinance, and I'm hoping that we can encompass that way to fix it in there, to handle the commercial district. I know you talk about light commercial, heavy commercial. So we're trying to work on that in that ordinance. So I'm hoping we can fix it. I don't know how big of a problem this is, because I kind of want to handle it as soon as I can, but I don't want to rush and do it and it's not done correctly. So what's your take on the complaints?
The complaint is West Management had a real order, and they broke down their boxes. West Management, they picked up, with this type of machine, you can throw large 8 by 4, 8 by 6 boxes into it, and it just compacts. With ours, it entails the work either on the commercial, the heavy commercial customer to do the due diligence of folding the boxes, cutting them, and loading them into these cans, and then we can just pick them up like a drum. We picking up everything right now. That means that we are the ones doing the breaking down, because West Management at one time did break down to somewhat satisfy commercial customers until we can get them acclimated with how we plan to deal with this. They didn't put them in West Management containers. They just pile them up there and West Management
He
picks
says
them up.
it's kind of axle dumpster.
Yeah.
That's what Mr. Holloway told me. And I reached out to him.
And it's a real, it's,
Yeah.
it's a real action compact. And then, if it's not time consuming, we can look at the benefits of purchasing something of that nature and then weighing out what it actually costs to see if we can recoup the cost if we bought such a machine to do the commercial. We're weighing the option right now, saying how much money is involved in it. Because we do have some constituents that have a lot of boxes, not constituents, heavy commercial, that have a lot of boxes, and they are in need of a dumpster. Because it's an eyesore when you go through the alley and you got all these boxes gathered around the can, you can't get at the can with the box, you get out, you cut the boxes, you fold them down, you put them in the box, we got them. And it's somewhat time consuming. But I believe if we go back and we consider what other cities are doing, then, and we find out what the cost of this particular piece of equipment is, then we can accommodate that. But the question is it going to be feasible versus what Waste Management is planning to offer the customers?
So are we still gonna consider them?
Yes, we're going to consider them.
Okay,
We're going to keep them.
I was gonna say, Mr. Holloway, we ended this relationship with Waste Management, but even still, he was very cordial with me today. I just do want to say he was very cordial. And he did say, we spoke about the transition, and he did say that, you know, Kim, with every transition, you're gonna have 3 or 4 months of works and issues. He admitted we were talking about the issues that we were seeing and having, and he was candid with offering solutions and trying to help. So, to his credit, I appreciate him for that. So I just wanted to make that publicly said. So, if we're still willing to work something, I guess with that, I think that we should, and I think we should resolve whatever issue that the commercial area is having with respect to dumping.
But they are being taken care of.
Do they need 6 carts? Because if so, is that going to be a financial issue with them too?
We don't know, we don't know their side of finance, because we have addressed, for instance, Stan Avery, he said that he couldn't get his constituents to line his cars properly in that area, and he wants to go to a dumpster. He was one of our commercial customers for Waste Management, where his guys would go and get their cars, Waste Management cars, and bring them to one place.
So you saying Waste Management was picking all the cans up in the beginning?
Yes.
At both prices, so now we're not picking the cans.
They were lining them up.
No, we're not,
So
and
that's a large loss.
That's what I'm saying. You got to figure this out. You have to figure this out.
I mean, all your commercial business on Square.
Yes.
Doesn't have, you know, they get big shipments in and big shipments out.
No, I'm talking about the old project.
The apartment complexes and all, we have to figure it out with respect to the apartment.
So that's what I'm saying, for the past 3 years,
Excuse me, Mayor, I don't remember nobody said mayor, so I think you gave permission to speak out of my head.
I mean, but the cans that's down in the old project, the cans that down in the old project, we wanted to pick all of those cans up.
Waste Management, yes,
And we was getting paid for those cans, right?
yes,
So we no longer doing it.
no.
Okay.
So what are you doing in the whole process?
They now got a dumpster that they.
We're picking them up through the end of the month, because these people were lining them up the same way, but they were not lining them up where our machine could pick them up because of the congestion's in there. All the other entities that are enclosed like that have dumpsters. Sam once had dumpsters.
Okay.
He once had a dumpster, but he only went to us for Waste Management because it was somewhat of a cost savings, and he gave me the number today. We would lose out of Stan somewhere around $3,000 a month. But I think he's got a cost savings at Waste Management on putting out 6 dumpsters. That's what his equivalent is to $6. And then we charge the same thing. The question was asked, if we order a truck or order something, would that be enough to make the payments or be sufficient to do what we're doing? We actually got all our commercial stock in 4 hours, doing the manual way. And with him, can we do the same thing and buy a truck and it be feasible?
Well, let me ask you this before you go any further. Does this put an undue burden on senior citizens over there now? That they gotta dump in a dumpster as opposed to rolling a garbage can out to the street?
Yeah, because they don't have to walk down to the.
And I think even with the rolling of the carts, that was something that Stan Maintenance Department did.
No.
Because if they didn't do that,
No,
well,
that's not true.
okay, well,
He's only got 2 or 3 maintenance people over there. I think there are a lot of volunteers over there that may help some of the senior citizens. But, yeah, I mean, that's kind of a burden for someone who has already gone through some type of health situation and then getting to a dumpster that may be 3 times further away from where they were rolling out to the street.
Indeed.
I didn't know that. I thought we would go into the same process.
and we were willing to do that, except he just said some of his people were not putting their cans out. And I didn't know that because all I knew when we started, we went over there and we asked them where were they gonna be staged. He told us the other truck backed up to the back of ours was just gonna be in a line where our truck would reach and get them and dump them, and he would dump those 150 cars. And it probably didn't take us.
So when they made that decision.
Wouldn't that be better though?
And that's why I want to bring to y'all attention, because honestly, it was brought to mind, and I just wanted to put it out there that that is an issue, and it was brought to my attention, so we need to figure out a way to resolve
Yeah,
that.
because all they're doing is driving down Love Street, coming back up Love Street, doing the same thing. And I mean, ergonomically, I thought that would be a better fit, and a safer situation.
We have no problem with it, he's just saying that his maintenance man would have nothing to do with it, because his constituents, he would have a problem with his constituents, bringing that can out. And I said, Stan, you never told it, and he never brought it to my attention until we did the change. He actually came and got our cars, and he brought our cars back.
That's what
Oh,
I'm saying.
really?
Then he came and got our cars, unpicked our cars, and then he did a contract with Waste Management.
Oh, you did.
That's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Nobody.
Oh, that's why he got, okay. Well, that's self-explanatory then. Yeah.
What I'm saying is,
Somebody got that picture on the garbage can.
nobody had courtesy to inform the board that they was gonna make a sudden change, that they gonna
It
impact
was just
our
brought to my attention
finance.
this way, so.
Look, I know people get upset when they say that, rant and rave, but I'm telling you, a lot of people come in here and sell us a bag of wolf whistles, and there's no truth to what they're doing because they're benefiting on the other end. I can't prove it, but I believe it.
They don't sit right with me.
No,
Suddenly take that.
They said something.
Yeah, I mean, you ain't, did your board agree to that?
No, and you know, and historically, when you look at these dumpsters that are in these apartment complexes, when these dumpsters break down, that stuff sits there 3 weeks. And it's,
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying. I do that same thing out here.
yeah. County Park, it was a mess over there for almost 2 months.
And we never had the issue with the cans that they.
You never will because it's individualized.
Canal Street Park.
Yeah.
I just think.
And they just got over the dilemma over there because the dumpster wasn't being emptied because they hadn't paid the company to pick it up. And you could smell it before you got to it coming off Peace Street.
I was just saying, this year,
Yeah,
something
you
to
said
say.
so.
Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead, all that here.
Yes, I asked about this, when we talked about the garbage stuff a couple of meetings ago, about the commercial issue. Was anything gonna be changed, with the commercial? I told no. But now, we need to do a thorough investigation as to who all is being affected by this, because if it's happening over here in Joe Christian, it's happening somewhere else. So, it's not an isolated case, I assure you of that. But we need to have something concrete. We need to have some documentation as to what we need to see it in writing on David Highway and what they're planning to do. We need to hear from the people that have commercial dumpsters or whatever, the business, what are they planning, what are their thoughts on dumpsters as opposed to our garbage cans. We need to have something in writing.
We need to get Stan in here.
I would agree.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna stop saying that because, Alderwoman, Whitehead can tell you, that same issue came up again at the middle.
But they never come to us. What I'm saying is, Stan Beasley's in here.
I'm sitting at the car and because
Oh, I agree.
live in an apartment.
I'm talking about,
If it's happening there, it's happening.
yeah, I mean, it's happening at Canal Street, but we yet to ever call those people in. Stan Beasley is,
Entity of the city.
that's right, and over Canton Housing Authority. And he did not convey this information to
What I'm
us,
saying.
because everybody else is somewhat private.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
issue with it.
So,
How we
if
would.
anything, I need to know concretely, if anything, because I have some businesses in my, board. If they have dumpster services, that is still not being affected, is that correct?
So when I talked to Mr. David Holloway today, I asked him, was he open? Like, I told him, we need to figure this issue out, and I was gonna be bringing it forward, and was he open? And he was open. So I think the line of communication is still open with him. So I think we should figure it out with him, if that's still an option, like Mr. Garrett just stated. So I think, and getting Mr. Beasley in here as well, and figuring out what the exact problem is, from whom and from where. Like I said, I only heard back from 1 or 2 constituents, and what I heard was the square of the business owners. You know, the same does go forward with apartment complexes, but I think we do need to figure out how we resolve it going forward, and Mr. Holloway is still open, maybe he can help assist with that issue of it as well.
Okay? So we need to have him to come to a meeting and present something in writing. I'd like to have stuff in writing because I can't retract what I said if I wrote it down and gave it to you. Okay?
Yeah,
Thank
right
you.
now, our lady, White.
And this has absolutely nothing to do with this particular dumpster pickup issue. But did we receive this information yesterday to discuss during the work session? Or what?
We didn't have all the information.
Okay. Would it be protocol for us to make sure before we get something on the agenda to vote on, if we at least get the, I guess the protocol of having things in the work session, like you stated earlier?
I agree.
If we have questions about this, we shouldn't be sitting here discussing it. It should have been discussed yesterday during the work session, so then we would have had Mr. Beasley here today to answer all of our questions.
I agree.
So,
100%.
the same way that it was told to me to make sure that I get the work session when I have some questions, I would love for items to be placed in the work session.
You called that.
I was just trying to that's my issue.
And you're right, you're absolutely
I would
right.
love for, because we could have had this the next day, we could be talking to Mr. Beasley and clearing up all of this.
We didn't have that.
We didn't.
We asked.
But again,
For the day.
because
That's the information
it
before
was
we
missing.
We asked for the day for the day.
So again, if we didn't have it, I don't think it should have been placed on the agenda.
That's why I said, can I speak before, because it's not ready. But it was an issue that I saw was an emergency, and I wanted to bring it forward to the government authorities so they can know what's
Okay.
going on.
So
that's why I wanted to speak. It's
For our
nothing to vote on.
information and to
Yes.
place some, so that we can get everything. Yeah,
I agree with you 100%.
I'm done.
Okay.
So we'll get together, I just want to put that before you all, but we'll get together going forward, and Mr. Holloway is definitely open, so I request that he comes, since we know that this is an issue, and we can work on resolving that.
Okay.
Any further questions?
Yeah,
What? No?
yeah.
Oh.
Alderman Brown?
I'm just floored to the point that somebody works under the city, makes a change that dress on the spot, they're gonna impact us financially, and we don't even know about it.
And
That's what pisses me off.
It's called deja vu. The same thing happened in the last administration. Only thing different, pictures of over in the garbage can.
Yeah,
I think y'all remember that.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yes, that's what we
But
do.
are we gonna get us to be?
Yes. We need to.
he said he was coming to everybody, I didn't know the time when, so I thought. He always said he was coming.
I say yes.
Anything else, Attorney Banks? Anything else, Mr. Gary? Good. All right.
Thank you.
I don't know who should be getting, but it should be coming to the.
Before we put it on the agenda.
You got me back.
No, I'm gonna get you.
All right. The bill now entertain a motion for Roman number 15.
There's no action on that.
No action on 15.
That's a perfect word we asked for.
Now let's do the consent agenda. I'm sorry, Alderman Brown.
We good?
Okay. Consent agenda, 16, 17, 18. Are we gonna bundle this or we gonna hold it individually?
I make the motion that we can approve the consent agenda.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's been motion and properly second. Are you ready to vote? If so, what is your vote?
And
Well,
Yeah.
Down that.
nope.
so here.
Right. Yeah.
We going Alderman Brown, Alderman Taylor, down, and Dr. White is out of the room.
Brian,
What was the vote?
Alderman Brown and Alderman Down said aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. There's no executive session?
It is. Yeah. It's at the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to go into executive session. Thank you for your attendance today. Have a great day, and love on the City of Lights. Thank you all.
All right, thank you.